Are you a person that is quick to anger or be frustrated at the action or inaction of others? If so, this video is for you.
Represent God, gonna do it to death. Stop playing games with the Lord, gonna do it to death. Are you a believer when it fits? Nah, do it to death. You need to do it to death. Come on and do it to death. You wanna represent God, gonna do it to death. Stop playing games with the Lord, gonna do it to death. Are you a believer when it fits? Nah, do it to death. You need to do it to death. Come on and do it to death.
Hello, 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 good people. I am your host, Mr. HJ, and we are back. We are back. We are back. Want to give a shout out to my MVPs. That is men valuing purpose, and we definitely cannot forget the LLCs, or ladies loving and courageous. The purpose of this video, if you are new to the channel, is all about self-improvement. We want to become the very best versions of ourselves that we can. And I enjoy being your host, your mentor, and partnering alongside you in your journey, because life is a journey and not a destination. So let's dive right in. This video is all about being non-reactive. Being non-reactive. What is being non-reactive? This is the practice of observing your thoughts and emotions without immediately reacting to them. Okay, break this down in an example. Think of James Bond or Michael Corleone from The Godfather. Crazy, intense things can be happening around them, and they're able to maintain a decisive mentality, generally speaking. Okay, why is this important? All right, let's look at these two people, these two figures. James Bond, super spy, 00, always involved in stressful situations, typically life or death, trying to catch a bad guy, trying to meet some deadline quickly. Bomb's gonna go off. This person's gonna get assassinated. Whatever the case may be, a lot is going on. Usually he's trying to be killed, but he's able to keep his calm in the face of torture, adversity, gunshots, threats, whatever, however you want to look at it, wild poker games. He's able to keep his calm and be, generally speaking, not in all situations, but generally speaking, witty and non-reactive to the pressure that's around him. Sliding on over to Michael Corleone from The Godfather. Inherited the family business from the Don, became the Don, dealing with the other families, wanting pieces of the pie, wanting to shake him down, wanting to take what that family has built. A lot of times this involves death, killing of family members, all kind of crazy stuff, assassination attempts, the possibility of losing finances or losing funding, politics, court cases, being threatened with large quantities of jail time, a lot of stressful stuff. But again, generally speaking, he's able to be non-reactive to the stress that and chaos in a lot of places that is surrounding him. So you may be asking yourself, why is this important? Well, I'm glad you asked. First and foremost, it's important for a few reasons that we're going to discuss today. Being non-reactive tells people, you don't control me. If a person can know your trigger and pull it at will, then they, in essence, have a level of control over you and your behaviors. Sliding back to The Godfather, for example. The older brother was named Sonny. Don got shot. He was kind of in remission, let's say, while he was trying to recover. Sonny took over And Sonny was, generally speaking, considered a bit of a hothead, fast temper, quick to anger, quick to react upon being angered. The other families knew this flaw, knew what Sonny would do in various situations, knew they could taunt him, they could frustrate him easily, frazzle him, get him out of sorts without much of a problem. Knowing this and knowing the position that they wanted and how they wanted to dominate, they used that against him to set him up and ultimately kill him in a very horrific fashion, might I add. They set him up to where he drove into an area where they already had people set up, gunshots going off, and next thing you know, Sonny is out of there. I mean, they riddled his car with bullets in a way that even Tupac Shakur would be like, dog. But nonetheless, let's stay on topic. So because of his reaction to things in an anger and hot-headed fashion, they were able to ultimately set up his demise and realistically do it with relative ease. Now, if people know what buttons they can press, they're going to press them to either control the situation or just because they can. Now, what we have to do and what we should be doing here as high achievers is learn to play chess and not checkers. It shouldn't be move for move or jump for jump. We should be asking ourselves qualifying questions. What is the end game? What are we looking to accomplish in each move? Where are we going? How are we going to get there? What is my plan B if my plan A is not working? As leaders, it's of the utmost importance that you know people are going to respond to a calm person with a plan and moves with a level of decisiveness under pressure more so than someone who will not. Now, you may be asking yourself, all of this sounds great. How do we apply this to our everyday lives? What is something I can do today to become a little bit more non-reactive? Well, I'm glad you asked because I have 3 points that I believe you'll be able to take out today, use, and immediately see results. The first thing is identify the emotion you are feeling, be it anger, sadness, frustration, etc. Making this identification mentally sets up your brain to respond. Now, there's been scientific studies behind this as well. There's a connection that once you make the identification, it decreases the intensity of said emotion by up to 50%. So what does that look like? I'm getting mad, right? It's a situation that's creating anger, frustration, and I feel my blood pressure getting up, and I feel myself getting into a place where I'm about to react or respond. I have a dialogue with myself, and I'm saying, okay, this is anger. Almost like that Pixar movie, I think it's Pixar, Inside Out, where you have the different emotions and they do their thing on the console and they jump in and, hey, oh, it's time to be happy. Oh, I'm depressed. Like all of that. So you have to recognize that emotion. And by recognizing it, you're telling your brain what's going on. Your brain can help, in essence, calm that emotion down, bring it down to size. It's not going to stop it. It's not going to say you're still not going to pop off. It's not going to say you're not going to feel sad, blah, blah, blah. What it is saying is it's there to help you from just being emotional to adding a level of logic in behind it. I know I'm angry, so let me take a step back. Let me go to number 2 and take my time. Before I respond or react, take a deep breath and think about what it is that I'm going to say. Try to do it in a more excellent way. If you really feel frustrated, in a situation, a lot of times it's good to just take 5 or 10 minutes before you talk to the person who's caused that frustration. I've done it both ways. I've reacted in the moment and regretted my reaction later. And I've also took my time, thought about it, maybe tried to see it from the other person's perspective and just sat on it. And then later on in the day, when I was in a much better headspace, had a conversation with that person. Hey, a little bit earlier today, this happened. And it made me feel this kind of way. And so what I was trying to determine is, what was it you meant behind your response or your action or your inaction? What was it behind that? Because maybe it's a possibility that I'm looking at things only from my perspective and not seeing the other person's perspective. And they can give me clarity. And it also gives them a chance to apologize without you asking for an apology. Hey, I apologize about that. I wasn't trying to come off rude or flippant or whatever the case may be. It was a stressful situation and I handled it incorrectly. That wasn't anything you did wrong. That was on me. My bad. That has happened. And so you being calm and not going tit for tat and just kind of sitting back, taking a moment, not saying you don't call it out, not saying you don't recognize the situation, but you handle yourself. You're always responsible for the man in the mirror, and that is you and how you react. Moving on to number 3, know what sets you off. You will get on 10 if this happens. I will become depressed if that happens. What is it that gets you there? What is it that keeps you there? You have to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, then you're kind of like a kite in the wind a little bit. You're kind of just floating, and whatever direction the breeze goes is where you go. And that's not really what we're looking to be or do as high achievers. We want to have a path, a direction that we're trying to go. Yes, we can make adjustments. Yes, we can take detours, but ultimately speaking, we know where it is we want to go and how we want to get there. So having that knowledge of the things that set you off or take you to an extreme place of anger or frustration or anything to that effect, know those things, because that's only going to help you in the long run. So those are 3 things that you will be able to take today, go out into the field and use those strategies and those 3 techniques to make yourself better in that area, because the key is being non-reactive. Welcome to 2025. I want to tell everybody Happy New Year. Great that we made it. This is going to be a great year for us because we're always doing what? Moving forward. We want to be 1% better today than we were yesterday. I want to thank you guys for your time. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for continuing to support this channel. If you want to support via PayPal, a QR code will pop up. But like this video, subscribe, share this information with a friend. Feel free to send me comments in the comment section. I will definitely do my best to respond to each and every one, and I enjoy getting feedback from you guys. So that's all I have for you today. And yeah, let's get on out of here. I am your host, Mr. HJ, and we are out. Thank you, and God bless.
And I'm out.